Motivation is so much bigger than giving gifts. So many people are struggling with motivating their team, engaging team members within their clinics, and thinking that motivation is somehow linked to reward, or motivation is something that you can just switch on and switch off. Or actually, you see this on CVs or job adverts all the time. I want a self-started motivator to do something. The reality is that it's a really complicated interplay between what's going on in here and also the external environment. And the two things I don't think can be separated out. So the problem I have with a question like that is, well, that's showing off to me is just a fundamental lack of understanding of what motivates people. So we know that giving somebody a gift, that if you give me a gift, I might feel like, okay, that's nice, I got a gift. If you give me a gift once, that's a nice thing. If you give me a gift every year for something, it actually isn't really that motivating because it becomes something I expect. Motivation is so much bigger than giving gifts and whatnot. And there's a couple of frameworks and things I think are important. The first thing is to have motivated people is you be really clear about what it is that you're trying to achieve and why you're trying to do it. And when you're clear about that with somebody, then the person that you've got working for you gets to make a decision. Do I actually agree with what it is that you're trying to achieve? Do I get that? And then the values side of it is how we're going to achieve that. So if we're going to build a shelter for homeless orphaned kittens, then that's quite a nice what. Like, we might feel really good about doing that. But if the way you're going to do that is to rob the blind to get enough money to build that shelter, then we're going to have a values clash, because save the kittens but steal from the blind. That's not okay. It matters what, but it also matters why, and sort of how you're going to go about doing that. So clarity of purpose, and then understanding internally what my values are or the team's values are, and what the individual that you're trying to work with's values are, that's really, really important. Once you've got those things aligned, motivation is kind of inherently built into the system, which means that culture is one of the most fundamentally important things. Like, if you've got a really good team dynamic, good practice culture, then you're going to have motivated people who show up. And what we absolutely know is that recognition is totally part of that. So when somebody knows what we're trying to do, they do it in the way that we want them to do it, and they've got the skills, or they're growing the skills, and they have wins. When we recognize that person and go, hey, you did a great job there, well done. That intrinsically helps people and gets people to remain motivated and want to work harder and continue working, way more than giving them an iPad. Those things are nice, but they're not fitted for everybody. And then there's one last cool little thing, which I encourage everybody to read, is the book on the love languages, which sounds like one of these really woo-woo things, but it's a nice book. It fits well with some psychology in that we all have things that we kind of want and things that we need, and ways that we need to hear things, communication preferences, okay? And this book really is about saying that, like, we all have sort of certain things we like more than others. So you might like a gift. You might like to receive a gift. And if I give you a gift, that's how you would understand that I love and care about you. But you might also be somebody who prefers quality time. Or you might be somebody who prefers me doing something nice for you. Or I might say words to you that you like you did great today, and give you some feedback. And that verbal recognition of you might be super important. We all kind of have different ways that we recognize that how other people are valuing us. And there's even a twist to that, and that is some of us inherently know if we're doing a good job, like whether you tell us or not. And some of us determine that through the numbers, the data, the things that are happening that we can observe in the universe. Being a good leader means understanding a lot of these different dynamics and the interplays that are happening. Don't fall into the trap of just thinking, if I give somebody a gift, then they're going to really love working here. And you see this all the time in vet clinics, like, let's have pizza with lunch, or I'm going to buy everyone pizza on Friday, or we'll go out and we'll go to the pub, or something like that. These are all great things, and they're good. But if your culture sucks and your leadership sucks and you've got quite a toxic place in the first instance, That's a band-aid. Just buying people pizza isn't going to fix and make a culture better. Much better to focus on your whats, your whys, and understand how people want to receive that sort of attention from you in the form of recognition. That's a way better way of building culture. If you would like your question answered, then the way to go about doing that is to record your own little video clip that you don't mind us using, because we will make you famous as well. But send in your video question, or you can send in on Instagram or Twitter or email it or DM it, whatever. Send your question in. It's got to be about veterinary business, veterinary life, your career, what's going on with you. But ask a question that you think I can add some value back for you, and I would love to give you an answer on this show. And if you do send it in and we use your question, you'll receive a signed copy of So You're a Vet Now What, and my eternal gratitude and some notoriety by being on the show. So don't be shy, step up and send in your questions. Thanks for listening or watching. Be safe, be well, be happy. Dr. Dave, out.